I want to talk a little bit about us coming together today and to think about what it means to be holy, or at least one idea of what it means to be holy, and a complicated idea. And so this week, we're reading two parshiot again. Last week, we also had a double parsha, and we're reading Achremot and Kedoshim. And I wanted to focus on the beginning of Kedoshim, which opens with the words of Vayadaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael, v'amarta alehem Kedoshim tiyu. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the whole Israelite community and say to them, 'You shall be holy.'" The most basic meaning of the root of the word kadosh, the kuf, daled, and shin together, is separated or apart from. Holiness, in many ways, is distinguishing something from the rest or separating it out. And Shabbat is a great example of this. Shabbat is unlike any other day of the week, and it's not meant to be because it's holy, it's separate. There's even a halachic category, I love this one so much, of things we can't do on Shabbat because they're considered uvda dechol, that they're things that are similar to things we would do during the week. So even if we're allowed to do them on Shabbat, we shouldn't do it because we want to distinguish, we want it to be different. And this holiness is often defined by distinction, separation, and otherness. But the great Hasidic master and teacher, the Sfat Emet, complicates this idea of kadosh. And he does this by looking at the beginning of our parsha of Kedoshim and points out that it's not about separation, but it's about us coming together, right? The language there is El kol adat b'nei Yisrael, to all of b'nei Yisrael gathered together in community. That's when we're told about our holiness. He explains when the people are united as one, it is then and only then that they will be holy, that we will be holy. He goes on to say that this is why the Parsha of Kedoshim deals with so many interpersonal laws and matters. It's not about the individual, it's about the collective. It's about us being together. It has been an intense week. After the guilty verdict was released, journalist Dahlia Litwick wrote about the power of the collective, and she said, "It's entirely possible that one small lesson of this verdict is that the rugged individualism ideal that comes cloaked in violence and state-sanctioned authority has finally had its day, and that brave, anonymous, collective action is capable of standing up to it. A group has the power to make change. A group has the power to see each individual as a part of them and to fight and demand justice." Yesterday, we were reminded of this communal power as we watched 40 global leaders come together for Climate Summit, saying this is our world and we need to care for her together. Holiness is in the power of the assembled. We were also and are also heartbroken and ashamed and embarrassed by the news of the violence and riots in Jerusalem, reminding us of the danger and pain that comes with divisiveness and othering. Over and over again in our liturgy, we proclaim the words, Kadosh, 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 holy, 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 as we emulate the angels praising the divine. We are told that these words were said, Kulam ke'echad, all as one. Just as our voices come together in praise, we come together to create holiness in our world. Holiness is not necessarily about separation and distinction, but is created actively as we unite. The idea of holiness is complex, and after a complicated week, I wanted to end with the beautiful words of the Irish poet and philosopher John O'Donoghue, which speaks to us in this moment. He said, "Only holiness will call people to listen now. And the work of holiness is not about perfection or niceness, it is about belonging." May this Shabbat be a Shabbat where we are inspired to unite and create holiness together. Shabbat Shalom.